and Assalamualaikum and very good day to Dr. Iskandar. For the subject PAD 270, we have been assigned to do video presentation on selected topic. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Nur Izzati PT Induk.
Hi, my name is Nur Fadlin Sakina binti Zainuri.
My name is Tuan Nazia binti Tuan Yaakob.
My name is Nuridwana binti Rasid.
In this video, we are going to discuss for the first one, introduction of 50 general election, second, differences between roles of traditional and new media, third, response from generation X, Y, and Z, 4, government perspectives on traditional and new media, 5, impact of traditional media in the 50 general election, and impact of new media towards political parties.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. From the first point of view, I'm going to explain the roles of the election system and the aspect of traditional and new media in the 15th general election. Naturally, in the minutes leading up to the new upcoming election session, it can be seen that the media have given good cooperation in carrying out their responsibility to disseminate information and the latest issue both in terms of both media. The traditional media shows that the platform usually refer to those activities in advertising channels that have been used for decades. The concept of the traditional media is tried and true method that have been relied on in business for years. There are a few sources that related in which this traditional media, such as the radio, broadcast, television, cable and satellite, and also print and billboards. On the other hand, the form of advertising have been around for years and many have reached the successful with traditional media campaign. Meanwhile, the new media can easily describe as the digital channel where they have gained popularity in the advertising space in the last decade or so on. In the current era of modernity, as well as there are more consumers who rely on their cell phones for everything, so that encourage the value of opportunity as an encouraging effective way to advertise, especially for the media friends out there. The form of new media can also describe as the highly target, even allowing businesses in a way to reach the consumer as they enter their store, as revealed by using cell phone push notification. Easy to say that both of the media can complement one another with playing a vital role.
In this section, we are going to discuss about this topic.
In this video, I will present about the differences between roles of traditional and new media in general 15 election. For the gain of the political establishment, the mass media relies mainly on optimistic stories. This appears to be linked in part to Malaysian newsroom culture, where close ties between government, leaders, editors, and publishers make it difficult for journalists to investigate politicians. The mass media is generally uncritical of government policies, but political critics receive little attention, particularly when it comes to calls for political change. While there are clear restrictions on the media in Malaysia, it is also important to recognize that dynamic yet contentious elements have emerged in recent years, as civil society organizations increasingly use digital media technology to search knowledge. The media in Malaysia is confronted with the potential for change. Malaysia was the first country to provide internet access in 1996, which is around 2005. When Malaysians began contrasting news media information with information on the internet, many Malaysians for the first time thought they had been fooled and began to lose confidence in the official media. In the run-up to every referendum, the media plays a critical role. This was primarily due to the influence of the internet. The popularity of online media has surpassed that of traditional media at times. Digital media act as a modern source of information because it was available to a wide portion of the population. This isn't to say that other types of campaigning didn't have an impact. As a result, despite receiving little attention from the mass media, the opposition has largely relied on online media to fight the National Front's onslaught and set its own agenda. That's all from me, thank you.
Okay, the next point with this title is the response from Generation X, Y, and Z. Okay, as everyone knows, when now we were in the modern world in the term of technology, no matter among children or adults, the response of Generation X, Y, and Z to the traditional media and new media in the 15th general election is very encouraging. This is because in this modern age, technology is easily accessible by people regardless of any generation. Through the existing media which is used by election candidates to provide information about their political parties, it makes it easier for the public to know about their development. Okay, in addition, with the existence of various new media, it will attract the interest of the public. Okay.
The next point, I will explain the government perspectives on traditional media and new media in the 50th general election. The government gives positive perspectives toward traditional media in the 15th general election because that's a good way to use it from time to time, even we are in the modern era. Traditional media is more controlled rather than new media. For example of traditional media, news on television such as Buletin Utama TV3, newspapers such as Utusan Malaysia and Berita Harian, and channel radio like National FM. All of these examples under the government of Malaysia. Due to this, traditional media, like I mentioned just now, usually really has elements of defamation against the government and political parties. Even traditional media looks so lame in the modern era, but the government can make the new transformation of the way using this media to look more modern according to the current circulation. As you know, in the 40th general election, Malaysia has already emerged with a new media with the existence of the internet, such as a website or social media as a medium for citizens to voice out their views toward government. In the next general election, which is the 50th general election, technology of new media will be more modern with the changes new version of new media. Also, the government gives a positive perspective by encourage political parties to use social media as a platform to share information regarding the current issue and to promote their parties. As we know, the influence of new media is widespread and easily accessible to the public. So the government tested to use new media carefully to ensure the legitimacy of the government is not threatened by those who want to bring down any political parties.
Okay, the next point that I will explain is about impact of traditional and new media in the 15th general election. Okay, if we talk about impact, there must be have positive and negative impacts. It also same with this point. Okay, on the positive side, the traditional and new media each provide an opportunity for election candidates to campaign more easily and quickly. The positive effect is that the existing media can help election candidates to discuss issues or problems that arise easily with the voters. Okay, for example, they can discuss in groups that have been created on Facebook, WhatsApp, and Telegram. Next, in the term of negative impact, the existence of traditional media or new media, it is easier for fake news to spread on social media sites. This is because there are many irresponsible parties who like to spread false news. Okay, for the example, If a voter denigrates an election candidate or a political party by humiliating them, it will affect the position of that election candidate if many voters believe the fake news. Okay, so with the example of positive and negative impact that I explained, it shown that traditional and new media each provide the balanced impact.
Social media in particular is a serious factor in political parties. The impact of new media on political party is it will be able to destroy the existing parties. As a politician actively involved in the online community to reach out their supporters. For example, they give opinions, share political beliefs, and criticizing other politicians. And online platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, blog, and so on have an issue which can spread fake news about other parties. That is why new media can manipulate what the thinkings about the parties. Nowadays, our society more believe what they see on social media without investigating the true story. So every politician in Malaysia needs to monitor every speech or action on online platforms, as this will impact their reputation towards society impression. In addition, new media they can give a good impact on ways that can share their manifesto on all online platforms without any limits but need to use properly. So anything regarding social media will be alright.
At the end of this presentation, I would like to take this opportunity by concluding all of the discussion. Before that, the role between traditional and new media in the upcoming 15 election will bring many positive and negative effects on the people, the country, and the most affected are among the politicians who are struggling to make their name in the country as well as elevate rank and their rank in being among the front lines that will govern the country. Frankly, a rough view regarding the probabilities that will happen in the 15th election shows that the upcoming election session will be accompanied by various scenes and also stories that have no end in sight. As can be seen at this point, at a time when the country has not yet felt the vibration and throbbing of the embers of the election session, but there have been many issues and criticism thrown involving the latest government. It provides space and golden opportunity for journalists and friends. The effect of the propaganda that is formed will affect the mind and way of thinking of the local people, and the potential of it to influence their decision to vote on polling day is very high. Even so, we might say that many disadvantage of the advantage accompanied by the media in the current era. Therefore, the government must tighten the existing act and laws that related to the people's right to speak so that it can be avoided from any unrest that will divide the people and the administration country. Thank you.
So that's all for our presentation.